This is Radio Theatre Omaha. We tell it. You create it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You hold right there, get both barrels in the eye. But thought you and your friends could outsmart us, did ya?
Charles Brown wrote in 1860 a diary chronicling the early days of stringing along the first Transcontinental Telegraph across the dusty, lusty West. The goal, simple: unite by a single electrical line the East Coast to the West. It took well over 100 years in that handwritten diary to be dusted off and transcribed. The journey, it relates, is anything but easy. A fact Charles Brown, top assistant to the Creighton brothers, discovers as he stares down the double barrel of a loaded 12-gauge shotgun.
Perhaps I stuttered.
What? Is this a dream?
I tell you again, you hold right there or get both barrels in the eye. But you look down here in the cabin and you'll see the fastest and second fastest guns in the West both pointing out the side windows. One move, and your friends hiding in those yonder cedar trees are gonna see through another hole in their faces.
No,
You better speak quick while you still have the breath.
No, I'm Charles Brown, with the telegraph team, marking poles. I'm all alone.
We'll see about that. Let's say we roll down the trail a furlong or so and then pick up your lame-brain story from there. That way your friends can't jump out at us when we lower our guard.
All right, just let me gather my hammer and stakes.
You got all that? To rob a stagecoach?
I told you,
All right. At ease, gentlemen. Ladies, uncover your eyes. Hop aboard, Mr. Brown. We're full up below, so right up here next to me. I want to hear the whole story, but we got to get to moving. We're a good half hour behind.
Yes, sir. Mr.
Abernathy. Abernathy. Yep. I didn't want to tell the others, but we gotta get going and catch up with the ladies before their supper time.
Ladies? Out here?
Mm-hmm. Representative William H. Hooper is traveling through as a delegate to Washington, D.C. with his wagon train.
And where Hooper goes?
Mm-hmm. So go the ladies, if you know what I mean. I expect he'll stop up yonder at the ranch in the valley by Horse Creek Station. That's about right for travel distance.
And you stop there too.
Just for an hour or so to get the horses fed and watered and let the passengers get some victuals and stretch out a bit.
And while you're stopped,
I stretch out a little more than anyone else, if you catch my leanings.
so you'll miss your supper.
Man doesn't live on food alone, Mr. Brown. Besides, I packed some jerky. Want some?
Well, I guess I could. Thank you, my good man.
Hey.
What was that?
Oh, just me taking a bite of the old jerky. Special recipe. Buffalo jerky. The ponies make it up for me a couple times a year. They got this special medicinal plant they smash up and rub all over it. Gives it a little bite. Try it.
All right. Whoa! It's got more than a little bite. Water, please.
Would like to help you out, but running late, I'm plumb out of water too. Plus this especially hot and dry afternoon.
Don't remind me.
Tell you what, to get your mind off being thirsty and all, I'll give you a different thing to think about.
Yes?
Well, assuming you're not going on with us to Sacramento, you get to stay the night. You might approach Hooper and his ladies a little bit different than I will.
You mean...
You're gonna have to get into Hooper's good graces. He'll have those ladies locked down tighter than a cask of whiskey on election day. When night falls, if you want any chance at all with the ladies, you're gonna have to be on Hooper's side of the law.
How do I do that?
When you meet him, you'll get one chance. One try. So what's that one thing you're gonna say to grab his good graces?
I don't know. I can't come off being unnatural, so, like, hello, Representative Hooper. I'm helping the Creightons build the wire that will connect the east to the west and help win the war.
Yeah. Did somebody open a window? I feel a draft.
Not so good, huh?
Okay, if you're speaking to the doctors of the revolution, these ladies ain't them.
Okay, how about, I'm Charles Brown, and I have a bag of steaks that need pounding in somewhere. Any ideas?
Good Lord, no! You don't want to sound like a moral degenerate! You'll be tarred and feathered!
So, somewhere in between?
You'll have to figure it out for yourself, because the station is just round the bend, and I already spy some of Hooper's wagons, and my stretching hour. Whoa! Hey down there! All alight! 1 hour for victuals and freshening, and then we got a long evening ahead of us. Don't forget to fill your canteens. I've got to go see a man about a horse.
Well, here goes nothing.
Not too long thereafter, on a lonely bluff above the ranch, Charles Brown wonders what went wrong just a few hours before.
It was the perfect approach. Absolutely perfect. All I said was, Mr. Hooper, John Creighton sends his greetings. He asked me to represent him to you this evening, and since he cannot be here in person. And then Hooper says, he did he? And then I said, yes, sir, he did. And then he says, well, that's strange, because John Creighton is already here representing himself. So there, I lied. And it follows then that here I lie, on top of the hill, not sleeping anywhere near the ranch, but it could be worse. Hey, who comes there?
Hey, young whippersnapper. Mind if I bed down with you here for the night? There's a certain strength in numbers, you know. Oh, don't mind my smell. I've had sort of a stomach sickness that tries to sort itself out overnight, but I never quite get over it. I'll try to stay downwind of you, but you know how the wind shifts at night. Say, are you gonna eat the rest of those beans? Guys get mighty hungry wandering around these parts. I usually sleep under the chicken shed down at the ranch. They're fine with it because I keep the foxes and coyotes away. But tonight they told me they wouldn't need me because of the music and the laughing and the singing. Why aren't you down there at the ranch?
Oh, that's a good question, old-timer. Good question.
What's that sound?
Just me, eating crow.
Crow? Never heard of eating crow when there's good beans on the fire. Also never heard of jerky making that sound either.
Throw your bedroll down. You're not the company I'd hoped for, but something tells me you're the company I deserve.
Hey, young whippersnapper, the sun's up and everything's alive but you. Just heard a crow. If you're gonna eat more crow, you better go shoot it.
I'd eaten enough crow to last a lifetime last night, old-timer.
Well then, you wouldn't have any coffee in that bag of gear you got, would you?
Well, they're just spikes in a sledge, and my bean pot, and a half-filled canteen, though I suspect you already know that.
Oh, it seems like you ain't very prepared for camping out in these parts.
I'm not. I was planning on sleeping at the ranch.
Oh, well, I walked up the trail a little and looked down at the ranch. Those Hooper wagons is gone already. Moved on east.
Well, then maybe I can get down there to the ranch for a bite to eat and clean up a little bit before the next stagecoach comes through.
Where's that leave me, whippersnapper?
Probably eating crow or chasing the coyotes out from under the chicken coop like always.
Nah, not during the day. I walk over to the Horse Creek station every morning to sweep up for 'em. They give me a coffee and sometimes a biscuit if they got extra.
Then why'd you ask if I had coffee?
I figured it might be a sweeter deal. Coffee for doing nothing or coffee for sweeping up? Which would you take?
Well,
Both! That's what I'd take. Both.
Well, maybe I'll walk down there with you. Seems I might learn a thing or two from you along the way.
I'll give you the grand tour then. There's the long way along the trail and the shorter way along the Scouts Trail on the ridge. I heard some drumming up by the Cheyenne burial ground. I reckon there's a new grave over there. Ever seen a Cheyenne graveyard?
Some, here and there. Each different than the other.
Well, this tribe does it all the same way.
We'd better get going.
You sure you ain't got any coffee? Maybe in your bedroll to keep it hidden from drifters like me? Seems mighty queer any man would be bedrolling without it.
So shoot me.
I ain't got a gun or I'd think on it. Man who don't pack any coffee deserves to be shot.
A short while later, Charles Brown and his old new sidekick take in the scene at the Cheyenne graveyard.
You ever see a thing as this?
A burial platform on poles. I shall describe this in my journal.
You gotta stop and write when we hadn't had our coffee yet?
Some things beg the respect of immediate attention. Wrapped up in a buffalo skin and sewn. 2 ponies killed underneath. Several dogs. Food. Grains. A few pots. Feathers and a tomahawk.
Say, that's some nice tomahawk.
These ways seem strange to me, this war with the natives. We with our rifles and shotguns, they with their bows and tomahawks. It doesn't really seem like a fair fight, does it?
You gotta remember, they got the jump on us here in the land. They know its ways a tall order better than we do. They got queer ways, like leaving a good tomahawk on a grave like that. What good's it gonna do this dead man?
We don't really know, do we? You and me, it seems senseless, but, well, this isn't our home, is it? This isn't Omaha or St. Joseph or St. Louis or any of those places. I bet our customs seem strange to them, too. Why, even our money. Bank drafts written on paper. Pieces of gold and silver exchanged for writing on paper. I mean, don't you think that would seem a little bit strange to them?
Most natives I know like to trade.
But trade a good for a good. Berries for a skinning knife, meat for buttons.
Well, ain't nobody in these parts who feels sorry for any man who makes a fool of himself in trading. If it has to be a native, well,
But who's the real fool, old-timer, I wonder?
Well, the real fool is the man who sits around scratching a quill on parchment when there's real coffee to be got.
Guess so.
So, what do you think would happen if a man with no decent upbringing, you understand, would take that tomahawk off of that grave?
I don't know. I can't think any good would come of it.
But what if a man could get, maybe a promise of a couple pieces of silver from a soldier, a few weeks of coffee and a little fatback? maybe enough promise to get him to Fort Laramie without having to sweep out a Pony Express station.
I'd say any man even considering that's a fool. There's spirits in this land, powerful spirits that will ensure everything runs in harmony with the land. If any man breaks that harmony or strikes down the pillar that's been erected, well, woe be to him.
I ain't saying I would do anything like that. I got religion, you know. Only a nice meal for once and a change of scenery to Fort Laramie might be a powerful good thing for a man.
Well, you better just leave that grave alone, old-timer. That's all I can say.
I don't think I'll be needing that coffee. Something's got my stomach all upset again. I think I'll just sit down here by the trail till it passes. You just keep walking down this trail and it'll take you right to the Horse Creek station. Can't miss it. I'll join you as soon as I can.
Sure you will, old-timer. Just stay away from that grave. Leave the tomahawk where it lays.
After a long walk, Charles Brown stands out front of the Horse Creek Pony Express station.
What? Who's this?
It looks like Whistling Willie Estes, the Pony Express rider.
We have no mail to drop. Give me the reins and I will whistle the mailbag over. And Whistling Willie Estes is on his way. Yeah!
Couldn't have said it better myself. Hell, I couldn't even have said it myself. A station master, if I could have a word.
Sam Bull's the name. Let me just get this chestnut combed down.
Is the stagecoach coming soon?
Should be passing through in a couple of minutes. Wait!
What is it, my good man? What's wrong?
Those words just ain't right. Passing through in a couple of minutes. Why not in divers minutes? Or divers ticks of the clock. This you must infer to understand. Passing through in divers ticks, the Pony Express horse takes its licks.
Sounds dramatic, if not downright lyrical.
Oh, there's drama out here on the plains, and right here in the station. See, this here mare, this brushing is the most exciting thing she's got going on today. It's an awful dramatic time for her. Oh, there's drama all right. Of course, I saved the best of it for my cousin, Charles Bowles. You probably know him as Black Bart.
The outlaw?
The same. Now, I ain't condoning lawlessness, but I bide my time turning a rhyme or two, so when Black Bart wants a poem to leave a bank a robbing, who do you think he visits to get some good verse,
I've no time to spare. Where's the stagecoach? When's it coming?
If you have no time for poetry, your soul has no time to catch its breath.
I think there'll be plenty of breath catching on the stage.
But not the right type. Sure, you can think, but your head's all muddied by that silly card playing and adult storytelling folks do under the pass of time. You gotta be out among the tall grasses and the coyotes to write a good poem. Huh.
I'll keep that in mind. Oh, I have one thing to ask before the stagecoach comes.
I'm listening. You can tell I ain't writing poetry by the way my tongue's not sticking out like so.
John Creighton wants me to find out. We've got a big wagon train coming with wire and insulators and some provisions. Could they drop some of those trappings here for when Jim Creighton's wagon crew shows up?
Are you out of your mind? I ain't keeping nothing here for nobody.
Just let them unload it out back. Just keep an eye on it so no one steals it. It'll only be for a day or two until the crew...
You see these?
Yes. They're ears. Everyone has them.
You're exactly right. Everyone has them, You get me mixed up with those supplies and I could lose them.
Now how would...
If I even live at all, that man Slade, that station master at the general store, if he even thinks I'm trying to sell supplies here, he'll cut my ears clean off. Like when he shot and cut off the ears of Jules Benny at Old Julesburg.
Surely just storing them.
I'm kind of fond of my ears, if truth be known. Say, someone rides by. A Pony Express rider, for example. He stops just long enough to change horses, but a glint of metal catches his eye. He doesn't even ask, just rides on, and then he gets down to Slade Station, happens to let slip that some supplies were in store over here. That's all it would take Slade to get on his horse and ride with his gun blazing and his knife good and sharp. Ooh.
Rats, here comes the stagecoach. I'm in a pickle. Is there anything you can do?
Well, all I can say is, I still got my ears. I'm gonna keep it that way. Tell them to drop their trampers somewhere else.
Skeeter, have room for one more?
Why, Charles Brown, the real rider.
Now, wait a minute. I'll work up a verse right here.
Please get me out of here. Just rode with your brother Hap yesterday, headed the other way.
Yep, we're always going in opposite ways. He's going east, I'm going west. Didn't plan it that way, just happened. We're running light right now, plenty of room, but got a full load of folks to pick up at Beauvais place, I guess. You can ride at least that far. Mr. Walby, this here's Charles Brown. He'll be riding with you till Beauvais place. Yep, there.
Might as well get yourself settled. We have a goodly number of hours to slay before we arrive, I think, my good man.
Much obliged for your company.
From where are you coming? And to where are you going?
Well, I'm coming from that ranch over by Horse Creek Station. It's changed hands so many times I don't even know who owns it now. Actually, from the hill above it. And going to Beauvais to get some provisions. I should be able to meet up with John Creighton if he can extricate himself from the ranch sometime today.
Oh dear, I believe there may be a story under your words.
No story there. John A. Creighton is a happily married, faithful man. Though no one would say he's a teetotaler, he does imbibe on occasion.
Yes, well, the West is being settled by such as those. And these, look out this window here. Oh, have you ever seen such a weather-beaten one as this man?
I promise I'll give you your fare when I sell this here tomahawk at Fort Laramie.
Might as well take on one more, at least to Beauvais. Climb in.
Well, hello there, young whippersnapper. Would you believe I was walking the Antelope Trail down here, pardon me, this here cart trail, and found this perfectly good tomahawk just lying by the trail? Well, as there was no one around to claim it, I did. Wouldn't you say it was my lucky day?
No, I would definitely not say that.
There's no need to be rude to the old man.
There is when that tomahawk he's carrying came from a Cheyenne grave. We're lucky if the wheels don't fall off this coach before we're done. I have a notion to get out and walk.
Here now, we're not superstitious, are we?
We might not be, and maybe I'm not either, but there's just no reason to fool with things like Cheyenne graves. Or any graves for that matter. No reason.
Never seen a lightning storm just blow up out of nowhere. If rain follows, we're gonna have to bed down here under the stagecoach till it all passes. Ain't no man gonna see the trail, not alone stay on it without getting struck by lightning or getting mowed down. We'll have to wait it out.
Well, it would have to be drier here than sleeping under a chicken coop. I'll give you that.
I had hoped to make it to Fort Laramie by morning. I have a government ordnance meeting there with the colonel, and now he'll wonder what's come of us.
I've slept under a wagon or two in my time. Not during a storm. Old timer, I'm afraid you're picking up that tomahawk has already set the forces of nature against us.
I told you, I found it on the side of the trail.
Fire! Fire in the camp!
Well now, with a fire in the camp and untold damage wrought by that there storm, now's about the time we tell you about our sponsor. Swift Public Adjusters is a trusted public insurance claims firm representing policyholders with property damage from fire, water, storm, wind, and hail. Working exclusively for policyholders, not insurance companies, they ensure fair settlements through expert policy interpretation, thorough damage assessment, and skilled claim negotiation. With a proven track record of success, Swift Public Adjusters is the go-to choice for homeowners, business owners, and property managers seeking a swift path to a fair claim settlement. Find more information at swiftpublicadjusters.com. Hello in the camp. Good morning.
The robins are barely up. Who's the bastard?
Now, Charles. You don't want to be calling your employer names at this time in the morning.
John Creighton. I didn't know it was you.
Well, I didn't figure on it. I've had ruder retorts in the past, I'll tell you that, Charles. Looks like you got the worst of it here.
Oh, I'll say. A strong lightning storm came through last night. We had to stop the stagecoach and wait for it to finish. And, well, there's no rain with it, though, just lightning striking all around us. Then that big cottonwood tree.
I see it. Nothing but a smoldering trunk now and a lot of burnt grass. I trust the stagecoach continued on its way.
Once the fire started here, Skeeter, the driver, he hitched up his horses and was out like a shot. He took his other 2 passengers with him, a rather dapper young man headed for the fort and an odorous old-timer who bartered his passage with the promise of proceeds from a tomahawk he stole from a Cheyenne grave.
There's no telling what dangers might befall them on the trail with that bad omen.
That's why I didn't continue with them on the stage. I thought I'd wait here for you.
And a good snore you had doing it, too.
But what brings you and your wagon so early?
I'm heading to Fort Laramie this morning myself. I have to meet my brother Jim and McCreary, who are camped near there to settle a few things with the colonel. Some folks have been tampering with the telegraph line we're putting in. Put a few miles in one day and they're torn down the next. We need his help to teach them a lesson.
Just how do you do that?
All I can say is we catch them in the act and we make sure they have a shocking experience.
Isn't that a bit cruel?
The West is a cruel place, Charles. How many rattlesnakes have you almost tripped over? How many wagon train babies have you heard about who were pulled out of their makeshift cribs by coyotes and carried off into the brush? How many Pony Express station masters shot through with arrows and scalped and left to burn in their stations? It's a cruel place indeed.
I cannot disagree with you, Mr. Creighton.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a ride a few miles west of here and drop you and your spikes and red lead off on the trail. You're going to mark for poles where we left off, all the way to Beauvais' place if you can. Try to make it to Beauvais' trading post by nightfall. I'm going to go on to our camp across the river from Fort Laramie. When you're done, you take the stagecoach from Beauvais to Fort Laramie, and I'll meet you there sometime tomorrow.
That's a dashing plan, only I'm out of grub and water. I was hoping to pick some up at Beauvais if the stagecoach hadn't stopped.
Oh well. You see my wagon? I have biscuits and all the water you can drink. We'll eat on the way. I want you to get started marking pole placements as soon as possible. Here you go. Water.
Oh, I'm saved. Saved by the water.
Now don't drink it all. I've got to have some too before we get to Beauvais. And here's a couple of biscuits to munch on as we go.
Oh, bless you, John Creighton.
Climb aboard. Sit up here with me. Giddy up. Giddy up now.
Almost forgot. That wagon train of supplies, bulls won't store it. Why that look on your smirking face, Mr. Creighton? Ah, you already knew that, didn't you? Oh, a knowing nod. Of course, you have it all figured out, don't you? And I, once again, exit stage left. Irrelevant, once again, and on to the next adventure.
Night finally falls on Charles Brown, who spent the day spiking telegraph pole placements and has now made his camp a short distance from the Beauvais ranch and trading post. He passed up an opportunity to rent a bunk for the night, preferring to save his nickels for more important things than a good night's sleep.
God, go away! Go away! I can't stand it any longer. A blanket in this hot, humid night means one dies of heat stroke. no blanket and one gets carried away by these night birds. Is there any end to it? There's no sleeping. The river's up with the rains that swept through yesterday. How'd they miss us? Only a few miles away. We got the fire. This place got the high waters. Well, the mosquitoes sure think it's dandy. Oh, there's no more hell-born thing in this world than the mosquito. Back where you came from, I said. Oh, that's it. I'm renting a room at the Beauvais, no matter what the cost.
After a night with little to no sleep, Charles Brown departs Beauvais and walks up the cart trail to await the stagecoach. And here it comes.
Whoa, whoa! Beauvais trading post stop. Passenger pickup only. Everyone else, stay in the coach or risk getting left behind. What ho, it's Red Quick, the Pony Express rider.
Just exchange mounts, and I'm off.
Hey, Red, what's the news ahead?
No time for news. Mail pouch off this horse and onto this one.
Nothing for us to chew on before we get to Fort Laramie?
Saddled and ready. Just one thing. A death in Creighton camp last night. They're camped just across the river from the fort. No other details. Heard someone say Jim Creighton, Ed and John's cousins. Another said John McCreary. Maybe just bowl cookies, though. No time to find out. Got to go. Giddy up!
Jim Creighton? Could it be?
Or this John McCreary, whoever he is.
Either one would be devastating to the cause. Just when we were doing so well stringing the wire, 10 miles a day they've been averaging. Oh, now! Oh, ride on, man! Ride quickly! We have to find out who died and how!
3 new passengers, Charles Brown, the Creighton's man, and this here is Gertrude Drucker returning from a visit to her family out East Philly way. I'm sure you'll hear all about it. You two get aboard since you're both getting off at Fort Laramie.
I do hope we get to Fort Laramie by dinner time. Yeah, you know, it's not proper for an officer's wife, a lady and all, to dine
And
alone.
this here's Willie Baines, who's from the Creighton camp. Rose east on a supply wagon, I guess, to go down to Beauvais' place and get some teeth pulled by the barber. On his way back to the camp.
If he was in the camp this morning, then he would know who died last night. Willie!
Oh, I would not ask him anything right now, gentlemen. You see, his mouth is full of cotton.
What? Surely it wouldn't hurt to...
The gentleman at the station told me that Willie cannot pull the cotton out of his mouth until tomorrow morning, or he risks bleeding to death in his sleep. Not even for just a moment. I must say, the barbaric treatment borne out on the prairie leads itself to a certain desperation, wouldn't you agree? In Philadelphia, even the lowliest labor among us has the finest medical treatment. I say, did any of you...
It's the horse. You know what they say. Lead a horse to water, then it's got opinions about everything.
Well, as I was saying, dear Lord, what was I saying? No matter. Just a half-day's ride, and we will alight in Fort Laramie, 4 fortnights away from the fort. And would you not think my husband, the captain, would send a personal escort to see me back these last few miles? Certainly not. He has much more important things to do. Why, just before I left, he had to be up half the night down at the laundress's quarters settling some domestic dispute between the ladies and some drunken private whom he would never identify. It seems that there has been an uncommon rise in the number of these domestic disputes over the last year or so. And my dear husband, the captain, was always the one who stepped forward out of the goodness of his heart to intervene for the peace of the camp. I really wish the driver would have fixed that horse as he say it is.
I don't know. It's beginning to grow on me.
Mr. Baines, I know that you cannot pull the cotton out of your mouth, but can you nod or shake your head? Do you know who perished in the Creighton camp last night?
A nod. He does!
Oh, Lord! We have to know. Try to tell us. We'll listen closely. Who was it that died? We didn't quite get that. Again?
No, it was... And I couldn't track the rest.
Couldn't you, Mr. Baines, just for a moment, just for the tiniest moment, remove the cotton from your mouth and tell us what we need to know?
Gentlemen, for heaven's sake, you are asking this man to put his life in jeopardy just to satisfy your curiosity? You will be in Fort Laramie by noontime. That is soon enough. You don't want 2 deaths from the Creighton camp in successive days, do you? With poor Willie's death falling squarely on your shoulders?
Just for a moment.
Just a moment is just enough time for this poor man to begin bleeding again. What a pair of louts I'm stuck with in this little crate.
Now, don't put me in league with this man. I'm just riding through.
In my opinion, you are just as guilty as he is. In my dear Philadelphia, thieves tend to pack together in their daily wanderings. If they catch one thief, then they gather up all the men who ran with him. And if they don't have a proper answer as to their whereabouts, into the pokey they all go. The justice system in Philadelphia is among the best in the world. My dear uncle is a judge there, and he spends his time mulling over how he might best reclaim the lives of the misguided men in the fair city. The city of Benjamin Franklin, the city built on love and mutual respect for one's fellow man. I dare say the Drucker name is among the most respected name among the well-to-do in Philadelphia. Well, I have a notion to attempt to fix the horse myself.
I've got it!
Oh, good. Then please, get out and fix it.
No. A way to find out who died in the camp. Does anyone have a bit of paper? Perhaps a bit of charcoal or lead? I left my journal and quill in my baggage.
Well, no self-respecting newspaper man would be caught without a bit of paper. Let me just open up my valise.
And I have a brooch with a rather sharp edge to it. Might that be used to scratch a little something on the paper?
Very good. Very, very good. Now, we simply hand this over to Mr. Baines, and he can write down the name of the poor chap who died in the Creighton camp last night.
A line? My, he does not need to use the entire sheet of paper, does he?
Another line. It looks like an X. Oh, keep writing, man. Keep writing. An X. That's it?
Mr. Baines, is that all you can write?
A nod? The poor man cannot write.
A definite affliction among workers in the camps, I fear. In the fort, my husband, the captain, has taken it upon himself to oversee the instruction of all the children who live around and about the fort. In the past, the privates who were confined to the guardhouse for petty offenses were pressed into services as teachers. But the captain, he has the solution. As he travels about, he recruits young women as teachers, choosing to personally interview them as to their suitability for that position, or others that might suit his fancy at the time. Because education, of course, is the key to a prosperous civilizing of the West. If he succeeds, he himself will be responsible for populating the educated West single-handedly.
How might he tell us? There must be a way.
Well, my dear man, you have not thought of the most obvious way. Why, a game of charades, of course. It's all the rage among the parlors on the East Coast, straight out of the poshest parlors in France.
Explain, please.
Well, one team chooses a person who must remain silent throughout the game. He is given a word or a phrase which he must act out for his teammates with signs from his hands. Oh, it is great fun and a way to liven up any dull evening.
Okay, so make those hand signs she's talking about. Come on, out with it!
The ranged man forced to show his hand.
Dear me, no. One cannot simply start making hand gestures. One needs to first indicate the number of words, then which word it is, usually beginning with the first word, and then how many syllables.
Syllables? The man can't read or write. How's he supposed to know about syllables and such?
Well, we can dispense with the syllables, but I demand he show us how many words and then indicate each word.
All right. Mr. Baines, show us how many words. Oh, good God almighty, 8?
Must be royalty. His Royal Highness, the 3rd Duke of Worthington, for example.
Okay, first word. Let's get through this. Good Lord, the man struck me!
My goodness!
What kind of...
No fair choking the players. Choking is not part of the game. Though I must say there are times when I wished it would be.
Okay. So, smack?
Perhaps. Smack. Mac. Is it Mac?
He's shaking his head no.
Perhaps the poor man lived in a shack.
Then he would have signed us a shack.
How would he do that? I've played the game several times and would have a great deal of trouble signing a shack. One could form a sort of lean-to, or perhaps a house, and then sign small, like a small house. But that would be a cottage, wouldn't it?
Still shaking his head no. Okay. Punch? Punch?
Punch. Hunch. How about hunch back of Notre Dame?
Still shaking his head no. Well, at any rate, hit me again and
You've done it! Hit, you said. A breakthrough.
Who's named Hit? What? Oh, shaking his head. Not hit? No. But hit is close. Nodding his head. Close to hit, but not exactly hit? What rhymes with hit?
Well, you have bit and wit and sit. No, that would be too easy to sign. That's not it.
A big nod. Yes, that's it. Is it? No? But you nodded when you said that was it. Yes, so see, that's it. So sit is the word. But you nodded when you said it was the word we were looking for. Wait, a no and a yes? What are you trying to do to us? Wait. Do you actually mean the word is it? Oh, we've done it! It! Oh, wait, what kind of name is it? What? Second word? You mean that's it? The first word's it? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! For God's sakes, man! You don't need to sign the whole sentence, just the name of the man who died!
Now, please take it easy on the poor fella. He's had several teeth pulled from his head just this morning, and this is his first time playing the game. He's done admirably well so far, I think. Well, he has, and if you don't agree, you can just doggone lump it.
Camp labor is more noble than we might expect, isn't he? A literary purist will only sign incomplete sentences.
Oh, for gosh sakes, just the name! First name, go!
Hello down there. Around the bend is Fort Laramie. 2-hour stop.
Our answer is imminent. We can simply ask at the fort. Certainly someone will know.
You are quite right about that. They make it their primary birthright to know. At a fort, what one does not know might kill one, and so knowing the news from the area is just as important as having a good rifle at one side.
Fort Laramie, all alight.
Here we are.
Whoa! Stable hand. Feed and water these horses. Give them a full ration, also a good brushing.
Dear sir, stable hand, I heard someone perished in the Creighton's camp last night. Could you please tell me who it was? Oh, good. Whom? Was it Jim Creighton?
Creighton.
Oh, dear Lord, I'd feared so. Although, I also feared for my dear friend, McCreary.
McCreary?
McCreary? Are you sure?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Young man, who from Creighton camp passed away last night?
Yep.
Was it Jim Creighton?
Creighton.
Was it John McCreary?
McCreary.
Was it James Buchanan?
Buchanan.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Uncle.
Oh, isn't there someone who can tell me?
Look, over there. See that wagon coming in? Looks like there's a parcel on the back with a blanket over it, about the size of a man.
Had to take a different ford over the river. She's too fast and high just over the ridge there. That's what caught this poor feller. New to the camp. Just came yesterday. Tried to make it back to the fort. Well...
don't I know you from somewhere?
You might have met my brother, Hap. He drives a coach. Or my other brother, Skeeter. He drives one too. Me, I just drive a wagon. Short trips. One Pony Express station to other. Short trips. That's why they call me Shorty.
Yet you digress. Who is that under the top there? I'm dying to know. He probably is too, but I guess for him it's all past tense.
Yes, who is it?
See for yourself. We'll just pull this here dart back.
Don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting this one.
Oh, I have. If you could call it that.
You know this man?
He was an old-timer. I never got his name. We shared camp a few nights ago. I'm afraid he sealed his own fate. He took a tomahawk off a Cheyenne grave.
That might be the same tomahawk he was trying to sell in the camp. The soldiers wouldn't touch it in the fort. Here, tell, he was crossing back the river with it when he went under and didn't come up again till just down there past the bend. Got himself caught in the bramble on the turn. No sign of the tomahawk.
No, I wouldn't think there would be. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
The west of the 1860s was indeed a cruel place, a dusty, lusty west that needed to be caressed as it was crossed, caressed by 2,000 miles of wire strung between more than 27,500 poles and trees, and anything else that could be commandeered for the good of the nation. A nation that would soon be connected and united by a single wire. This has been a Radio Theatre Omaha production recorded inside Creighton University's podcast studio. The Dusty, Lusty West, Once for the Telegraph, was written by Brian Kokensparger and directed by Jackson Newman. Music was composed and performed by Aidan Leahy, with sound design by Francisco Franco. The part of Charles Brown was played by Derek Jackson. Hap Abernathy, Skeeter Abernathy, Shorty Abernathy were all played by Rachel Williamson. Old-timer Willie Baines and Riff Schlosinger were played by Dennis Stessman. Whistlin' Willie Estes and Gertrude Drucker were played by Annika Roddy. Sam Bowles, Adolphus Bexley, and Red Quick were played by Cordero Spears. Reginald Dalby and Silas Breezy were played by Josh Smith. John Creighton and the narrator were played by yours truly, Robert Wagner.